Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel of crafting, crochet and knitting. My name is Nikki and welcome to my little yarniverse. So hello, welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're returning a viewer. I forgot to say in the last video that I have put all the autumnal decorations out. So I have got a few autumnal pillows, like colours that I've knit there. I've got this nice fabric that I was given, so I just like throwing over the sofa. I've got a crochet pumpkin sat by the telly. I want to crochet a lot more pumpkins and like leaf litter things, and I'm in the middle of a knitted and crocheted autumnal blanket, which is still in need of blocking, but yeah, so I have put all of those out now. And yes, I have given up on the sofa that is stood upright in the corner there, and I've just thrown a blanket over that as well, because it's not going away anytime soon. And I need the space to show you what's in today's video. So I'm doing a lot better for having a restful weekend, and a lot better for the lovely autumnal days with the sunshine. Actually, it's flipping between beautiful sunshine that is just bouncing off of the gorgeous colours on the trees and chucking it down horrendously with rain. So I'm making the most of the times when it is sunny to record, but it is a beautiful sunny autumnal day. You can tell I'm excited because I'm speaking so fast that I'm falling over my words. How about I stop doing that? So, as you can probably tell from the title of today's video, we are going to be looking at all things Tunisian crochet, and basically the reason behind this is that I've got quite a few acquisitions that I've been wanting to show you all for a while now, but I've just not had the time to sit down and to record. And rather than doing acquisition videos with these sort of disjointed, disconnected things, I thought, why don't I actually throw together two of my acquisitions that are tied together around the theme of Tunisian crochet, and save other acquisitions for when I have similar makes that put the acquisitions into context. So today's context is Tunisian crochet. And of course, how can I talk about Tunisian crochet acquisitions without talking about one of the biggest Tunisian crochet YouTubers out there, Toni Lipsey herself. I'll link to her channel in the description, but to be quite honest with you, you probably just have to put Tunisian crochet into YouTube and you'll find her. But she wrote a book last year, the year before maybe, and it has been on my wish list for so long, and we finally picked it up. So here it is. It is beautiful. It is such good quality as well, like the printing, it's just like the amount of work that must have gone into this is so visible, but it is beautiful. And before I talk about that, let me just briefly show you what my other acquisition was, which Toni also contributed to, but other people did as well, so we will peruse those later. But it is in fact this. I want to say that this is box 35. If it is indeed 35, I'm going to be very impressed with myself because I can't remember. I bought this a while ago. I opened it and I took a little look inside, but I basically wanted to keep the main, like seeing what everything is and looking at it into more detail for when I was able to record with you. But yes, this is actually something that the Crochet Society puts together that's affiliated with Bella Coco Crochet on YouTube. Again, I'll link her, but shouldn't take too much to find. But this box, like I say, is Tunisian crochet themed. So yes, I think I'm going to probably go through this first to show you, and then talk about Toni's book at the end. But there we go. So this is a very neon themed box, and like I say, I bought this for the Tunisian crochet content, not for the yarn. You will see in a moment why I did not buy this for the yarn. This is why I didn't buy it for the yarn. So yes, for those of you who are new, I don't do pink. My brand is autumnal. I like autumnal things. That or astronomy things. So, you know, deep navies and stuff that go with that. I don't do pink, and so I have bought a box with pink in it. But that's fine because, like I said, I bought this for the Tunisian crochet, and it's not like this yarn is never going to get used. It will either be used in some amigurumi project, or it will be used to gift to somebody else who does like pink. But it's fair to say that I did not buy this box for the yarn choice. Having said that though, what I found with all the boxes that I've got from Bella Coco Crochet so far is that they are very, very soft. Even though most of the time they are like mostly acrylic, they are incredibly soft. And this is they've branded this their Luminous Decay, and I've got to say that the camera does not give credit to how luminous this is, but what is impressive, even for someone who doesn't like pink, is how luminous this is without being outright neon or magenta. This is actually a very impressively bright pink for something which is simultaneously a softer pink. I don't quite know how, but it's sort of, it gives you vibes of pastel, and if you put it with other pastel things you get a pastel vibe, but if you stuck it with something else which also stands out like this, it has a more neon vibe, and I think that's a very versatile colour somehow. But hey ho. So yes, we've got a sort of purpley blue here, and then a pink. I think this looks very blue by itself, and then when put with the pink it looks more purple, which is also very interesting. They're both 100 grams, they're both DK weights. They recommend a 3.5 or a 4mm needle if you're knitting with them, but then they've got a recommendation of a size 2 hook, and I have no idea what that means because I thought the American system used letters and the UK system uses millimeters. So I'm seeing like 3.5 and 4 millimeters for the needles, and therefore it should probably be about that in millimeters for hooks, but it says the number 2. I have no idea. If you know what a size 2 hook is, please let me know in the comments. So that's the yarn choice anyway. I'll stop rambling about that. Moving on to the items that I basically bought this box for, and that includes the patterns and also the Tunisian crochet hook. So the hook comes in this pouch. It's pink. It's not very good quality actually, the pouch. Look at that. I could sew something better than that, so I probably will. But the important thing is what's inside, and that is the Tunisian crochet hook. And this says 6mm. So what is the number 2? I thought a 6mm was like a J or something in the US. In fact, we could probably find this out, right? Because I have a conversion guide on the back of the booklet. A 6mm hook. Oh, according to this, is a UK 4. I didn't know that the UK had numbers, but okay. And it's a J or the number 10 in the US. But the one on there said 2, which I doubt is a 7mm. And it could be a USC/2, which is 2.75mm. DK? Doesn't seem right, does it? Anyway, get back to that in a bit. I don't have any other Tunisian crochet hooks besides this one set that I bought. And this one set that I bought was made of wood, and it had plastic cables that were attached to it, and at the join there were just a ridiculous number of jagged wooden splintery edges that on a hook for yarn makes absolutely no sense, and so I was incredibly annoyed at that purchase. My own fault really, because I didn't want to buy something too expensive when I was just experimenting with it. But I think this is the one time where I will say I would rather spend a little bit more money on a couple of Tunisian crochet hooks that are the right size for the typical projects I make, rather than buying a set again, because that wooden set was ridiculous. That is my advice to you if you're getting into Tunisian crochet. Do not buy a wooden set with plastic cables of Tunisian crochet hooks, because they are literally rubbish. So this is why I'm so glad that I've got this one here. Now I won't be able to get a full-size blanket out of this, It would need a cable for that. However, I'm happy enough that this would give me sort of the ability to make like motifs that I could then join later to make something bigger if I needed to. So happy with that hook. I'll put it back in this bag for now just so I know where it is, but I'll be getting rid of that bag, I think. Anyway, onto some other bits that came in this kit. Nice little sew-on patch there for a project bag at some point. So excited to find a project bag that would match this and suit it. Another thing that would probably get stuck to your project bag is this very chunky stitch counter. It is a nice metal one, and it's got 2 pins on the back to make sure that it stays attached to your bag. But it has got these little dials in the middle that have little turners behind there. So you can count your stitches, and you can either count in 2 digits or you could count 2 different stitch counts, so like you can have a row count and a stitch count, for example. And I like that it's this like moon star kind of pattern. I approve of that one. And then the last thing, as always, we have a stitch marker. So it's this very bright sort of neon lightning bolt kind of a thing going on. So I'm going to be popping that on my stitch holder at some point. And then onto booklet. So not going to talk too much about the booklet because I've already spoken loads about the stuff that's in this box. But basically this is one of the main things I would like to take away from this, because in here there is a sort of a short guide on how to do some different Tunisian crochet stitches. I think I'll probably show you that page because that's not giving anything away. And so there's a guide on how to do Tunisian crochet, simple stitch, knit stitch, purl stitch, full stitch, changing colour, so things that you would need to do patterns in this book. In the past I've had guides on beadwork and lacework, for example, in the Crochet Society booklets. And then there's also 3 patterns. One by Toni Lipsey is this hat here. I don't think that's the best photo of the hat though, because you want to be able to see the texture. That's a better one. And this is just a texture that I've not seen before in crochet or knitting. So I'm quite excited to see how that works up and how that feels and what that looks like. There is a table runner by Victoria Barrett. So another Tunisian crochet design. Here are 3 of the patterns, and I like that it's just a way of doing kind of swatches, but in a way that you can put them together to make something useful for the house. So there is this stitch here, which I think is the honeycomb stitch. There's this stitch here, which looks quite nice. And this one here I think looks a little bit like a fisherman's rib in knitting. So that's exciting to work with. And then the final pattern in this book, I'm not sure, is a Tunisian crochet pattern. It's kind of got bobble stitches and it looks the most familiar in texture to me, so I don't think it's Tunisian crochet. The techniques it says that it uses are just normal crochet stitches, so I think this pattern was probably included for anybody who didn't want to do Tunisian crochet with their yarn. But it's basically this very long triangular scarf here with puff stitch in the pattern, and this was made by Heather C. Gibbs, so you might be able to see the puff stitches a little bit more in the close-up shot there. So this booklet and the Tunisian crochet hook and the little goodies was kind of why I bought this box, and of course that was all supplemented by buying the Tunisian Crochet Handbook itself. So I haven't sat down and gone through this book in full yet, but it's basically in 2 parts. There's a part which is talking about all the different Tunisian crochet stitches that you could experiment with. There's a section that's just on Tunisian crochet, like the technique, and sort of essentially how it's different from normal crochet. Well, not normal crochet, but like more regular crochet. Is that probably the right way to phrase it? And then there's a sort of a dictionary of different stitches that you can do and what effects that they have together, like sort of like swatches that you would then actually incorporate to designs, but I'll get to that in a moment. So there's some things on like lattice stitch, and also how to do chevron work and how to do the honeycomb stitches in here. And then after speaking about some of those, there is a big section I said I would get to. There's a big section which is actually designs. So there's still some techniques about working in the round there and blocking. But then there is the second section, which is the design section. So what Toni has done is she's basically then paired some of those different stitches, those different stitch combinations into designs that she's made and put them in the book. So there is a cowl that uses the chevron technique, which I can't show you because the pattern's on the same page, but there is a really nice honeycomb shawl design in here, which maybe you can't see, but I can't show a close-up because of the designs. So that's like how that's been incorporated. There's sort of towels that are done in another sort of crossworky stitch here. So I don't know what that stitch is. I think that might have been the lattice stitch maybe. But yeah, so things are incorporated, but it's not just into sort of flat works, it's into cardigans and things as well. So there's a really nice, it's called a poncho, but it actually looks like it's got proper sleeve worked into it. So it's sort of almost like half poncho, half cardigan, and that with that texture there. And I absolutely just love how so many of these textures seem to be stuff I've just not seen in regular crochet before, and so it just sort of shows that Tunisian crochet produces a different type of fabric, which is quite exciting. You can put cross stitch onto Tunisian crochet, so you can make up a Tunisian crochet piece and then cross stitch detail into it, which is really quite exciting. So like letter there. Yeah, there's scarves, there's colour changes, there's hats, there's cushions. So there's all sorts of stuff in here. I don't know how much more I can show you. Oh, there we go. I can show you this one again. So another shawl or scarf pattern with this texture. So yeah, it's really nice that these have all been combined in patterns. There's even actually a pot holder, but I can't show you it. I'm so sorry. Oh no, I can. I'm so sorry that there's so many that I can't show you. But that just means that if you're interested, you'll have to buy her book, of course. I'm not affiliated. I just have been wanting to get this for a while because I know that there's just going to be so much, you know, unique. Well, they will be unique because they're her patterns. Unique is not what I mean though. There's so many new, new stitches, new designs, new combinations, new technique. That's just something I haven't seen before, so I'm really excited to delve deeper into this. So yes, this is quite a long video, and I'm beginning to run out of steam, I suppose. I'm getting a bit sore throat, so I'm gonna have to go get hot drinks, maybe a pumpkin spice latte or something. But yes, if you're interested in Tunisian crochet, then I hope you'll stick around on this channel, because I'm hoping to put some Tunisian crochet stuff out as I explore these techniques and find some of my favourites and things. That is why I bought the boxes. I think I mentioned in my last video that I'm sort of working on socks at the moment, but I think I'll play about with this in the background, and when I'm ready to make something you know, in Tunisian crochet, then I'll be able to show you on this channel. Maybe I'll see if I can find something in here that I can turn into a Christmas make, for example. So yeah, do stick around for that. I did make one of Toni's other designs in a previous video, so I'll link that in the description as well. So if you're interested in Tunisian crochet and you want to check out that blanket that I've made of Toni's, then yeah, find the link in the description. So yeah, this was very much a whole bunch of Tunisian crochet stuff, and did what it says on the title. But for now, I'm going to go away and get a drink, and I will see you in another video. Bye for now, everyone.